Sally Kohn, the poor man's Rachel Maddow, has an article up at CNN regarding gun control. The headline is, "We regulate toys, so why not guns?" Putting aside for just the moment the ridiculously false notion that we don't already regulate guns, Miss Sally couldn't even get the facts straight that she was trying to manipulate right in her own article. Former NYPD officer John Cardillo called her out on her baloney on Twitter and more. He joins me now to walk through everything that she got wrong, which is pretty much all of it, John. It's good to see you. What an asinine headline. We regulate toys, so why not guns? Because guns kill 5,000 trillion children a year. Yeah.
I thought it was The Onion. When I first came across somebody tweeting it out, I said, oh, The Onion or something like that is spoofing Sally Kohn. And then I read it, and I was just incredulous. So these are stats that I deal with daily anyway, the FBI, the CDC. So I started to correct her, and, with some pretty hard data, and then she comes back with a correction, which is still egregiously wrong. The whole thing is bizarre.
Right, because she's a better police officer than you, John. Apparently, she has access to magical statistics. Well, and she was saying, you went back and forth with her for a while. She was trying to say that there were 10,000 children a year that are killed by firearms. And you said, no, that's actually like way less than that. In fact, barely over 1,000 are under 18. It's not 10,000 by guns.
Right. And, Dana, when you take out the teens that are of the age that commit crimes and gangs, 15, 16, 17, 18, the number of children killed or injured with firearms in any capacity drops down under 900. That's where I said she's inflating the number by 12.
Yeah, by a huge portion. And she continued, she kept trying to say, well, we regulate toys that harm a few children, but we refuse to regulate guns that, and she just kept saying, well, or injured. She was still lying, and even in terms with that statistic, the injured statistic. And this goes through with a story CNS News just published today. Over 46,000 drug overdoses killed more Americans than car crashes or firearms. Car crashes kill more children than firearms do. Why didn't she include anything like that in her little CNN article? I'm curious.
Well, come on, that's the progressive narrative is destroyed by all that. Look, I live in South Florida, Dana, and you live in Texas. It's warm in the summer. I see far more stories, tragic ones, about kids drowning than I do about accidental shootings, right? That's sadly a weekly occurrence here in South Florida, maybe more. And it's often enough that we don't report it. But if she were to look at all the other things that kill or injure children, including sports, right? It would blow her narrative out of the water, so she doesn't even want to touch that.
Abortion hurts more children than firearms, but yet she's for that.
Sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dozens more, especially children of color, right? Was it 90,000 African-American babies aborted yearly?
Yeah. What amazes me is that these people, they always say that it's for, we need to save the lives of children. It's always for the best of the children, but yet never see her or any of these other people doing anything to help sponsor gun safety courses, gun hunters education courses, safe storage at home. Project Child Safe distributes, and you know this, having worked in law enforcement, they throughout all these different departments all across the country, they distribute trigger locks and all this stuff. These people want to act like those organizations don't exist, and then they don't want to get involved with them. I fail to see how this is anything about caring about children, and it seems more about confiscation and gun control.
Oh, yeah, and Dana, we're both friends of the NRA, right? Nobody does more than the NRA to promote firearm safety, and the Democratic candidates at their debate gloated about the NRA being their enemy.
Yeah.
And if you're a fact-based person, if you care about the science, right, progressive's favorite buzzword, the science would tell you that pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment people like us are the most concerned with gun safety, the most concerned with enforcing the existing gun laws against felons.
Yeah.
The progressives are the ones who don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, and then there was the story of and this just came out today, the criminal that had murdered that female law enforcement officer who had just had a baby as well. He had been, again, our amazing justice system, because of the progressive rot therein, he was plead down and he was out on the street, which is how he was able to go out, criminal gonna criminal. He's a prohibited possessor, was able to go out and illegally possess a firearm that he used to kill this Omaha officer.
Yep, Terry Orozco, and unfortunately and coincidentally, I happen to know somebody who knew her through the law enforcement world. Wonderful person. Everybody said she was wonderful. And now the woman who bought the gun for him illegally just got probation. She's not serving any jail time.
Wait a minute, straw purchaser? That's a felony.
It's a felony. She should be charged with murder. Transferred intent. Dana, probation. Not a day in jail for buying the gun for the guy she knew was a convicted felon, violent gang member.
So where is the Sally Kohns of the world and the Moms Demand and the Everytowns calling for harsher penalties for straw purchasers, such as the one you just mentioned?
Well, you know, the Everytowns and the Moms Demand, they're like children, right? They go la, la, la. When Dr. John Lott, arguably the most intelligent human being on gun rights, brought some statistics out to Shannon Watts, she blocked him on Twitter, but not before insulting him.
Yeah, they're so classy, that bunch. John Cardillo, find him on Twitter at John Cardillo, Blaze contributor, former NYPD officer. John, good to see you.
Always, Dana. Thanks.
Thanks so much. The panel is up next. Stay with us.